Back and welcome. Next, prepared speeches. We have our Toastmaster Pieter Roos, right? Pieter Roos, and he will be evaluated by Stefan Nabostakni. And his speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. His pathway is engaging humor. That is level 1, project 1. Stefan, can you please share with us the goal and objective of our Toastmaster Pieter Roos?
Oops.
Sorry.
Mr. Toastmaster, the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. So the speech needs to be structured, and we need to learn something about the person themselves. It's an icebreaker speech, so for the timekeeper, the speech length is 4 to 6 minutes.
Okay.
Mr. Toastmaster.
Correct. Yes, so it's 4 to 6 minutes. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me welcome Pieter Roos, speaking on the title, When Words Have Meaning. When Words Have Meaning, Pieter Roos.
At the previous meeting, I quoted a wise man. We had another quote, second quote. Last time Baptist guest who it was, perhaps you guys can remember. And the same guy said, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. What was that?
Or stay quiet.
Who said that?
I think it's from the Bible or something.
Yeah? Who said that? Who's the wise guy?
King David.
Huh?
Solomon.
Solomon, yes.
The wise guy, Solomon.
He was the wise guy, but not a wise guy with a suit and a gun. There's a different type of wise guy. And I like that. People attach different meanings to that quotation, to that verse. But I do believe that words have meaning. When words have meaning, we connect. So when Lord Jeremiah stood up tonight and said, "My name is Jeremiah," I heard the song "Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog" playing at the back of my mind. And knowing that as a Lord at the same time, I see this frog with a top hat and a cane, with a nice swagger walking down the street. So I'll never forget his name. I'll never forget Sakhafat's name, because if my memory hasn't failed, it means blessing, it means grace. So she's gracing us with a presence. A name has meaning. And there was a time in my culture when names had meanings, but where they were pretty ridiculous because people named historical events after them. So one of my friends, poor guy, passed away a year or two ago, lovely old man. His name was Ons Taal, our language. Imagine giving a kid a name like that, burdening somebody with a name like that. At least it had a meaning. Because what happened when my generation had kids was most of them gave their kids nonsensical names. Blah, 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 blah. Joanna, blah, blah, blah. And those kids have to bear that name, they have to spell it because the name has no meaning. Nobody knows what it means. I know what Sekhafatsa means. I've got an attachment to Lord Jeremiah. And when a name has meaning, it connects people. It's actually easy to remember it, then I can call you by your name. I don't have to say, cousin, like Barry Hilton does, because you can remember people's names, call them cousins. When names don't have meanings, we do that. I was always good with language, intuitively, but I was very bad at explaining grammar. It's like math. I can do math, but I can't teach it to other people. So I have to look up what these grammatical terms mean. And the one thing that I know, even though I can't ever remember it, is called a nominative determinism. And I have to read it because I can't remember it. What that means is that Usain Bolt's name was actually prophetic because he became a bolt. He was running like a bolt of lightning. Sarah Blizzard became a weather forecaster at the BBC. She told people about blizzards. Lord Brain became a neuroscientist. Like Mark the Man became a defensive soccer player who had to mark the other guys. And Les McBurney became a firefighter. The names are actually in meaning in different sense. Not only would people never forget their names, but it actually became their livelihood. When words have meaning, they actually give meaning to our lives. Now it was funny, I grew up in a very different period. It was actually dystopic if I look back at that. Where I grew up, and when I grew up, the kind of people I'm friends with these days were illegal in the province where I grew up. Right? So Chinese people weren't allowed in the Free State. Indian people weren't allowed in the Free State. So when I went to university, I became friends with a lot of these people, which was a big worry to my parents because they grew up in the Free State at a time when people were worried about all these religions and communism and all of the stuff that the Chinese people represented and Indian people represented with the different religions and stuff. But what I learned was that through language, because the only languages I grew up with were Sotho and Afrikaans. I read my first English book when I was 11, and only because my dad told me so. I can still remember the word I learned from that book, which was pigeon. He had to explain to me, that's a dave. So my son's 11 today, and he's got the vocab of a grown-up. I can't believe the same age, I was there and he's there. Words apart, but when words have meaning, they actually connect people and they actually help you get closer to people and to different cultures. Words also have the power to destroy. I was listening to a tennis coach at my son's tennis club the other day, and I was thinking to myself, I'm so glad this guy's not teaching my son. Somebody said he's the first choice. I went with a second choice coach because this guy didn't have time and he's breaking down the kids. Would never have somebody like that teaching my kid, because that little girl's always going to believe she can't play a volley or she can't serve properly because this mean guy is breaking her down. When you do that, you teach somebody kung fu, you teach them you're useless, you'll never be able to do this. Or if that speaker had said that evening to Lynette, I can see you're never going to make that. She would have walked away from this club,
Sure,
and she would have given up.
sure.
A grade 1 teacher breaks a kid. So when words have meaning, you either break down people or you elevate them. So the challenge I want to leave with you tonight is be careful with the way you go about with words. Because those words can connect us. We can actually make a point of understanding each other. I don't know what Zianda means, so I'll have to find out what Zianda means.
It means increase.
Increase.
Wherever I
So
go,
plenty.
I increase. Wherever
So you bring
I go,
plenty.
I multiply, I restore.
Good. So I've learned something. It's a beautiful name. I don't know what Baptist means. I don't know what most of the names, Afrikaans names I get in contact with or the Western names mean. But I make a point of trying to understand names because now I know that you bring plenty to the club. And I won't forget that. And when I think about what I say to somebody as the first time here, oh, Brian, that was a pathetic speech. And he runs away. Or I say, Brian, that was a superb start. Please come again. We'd love to hear more of what you've got to offer. He'll take that away and he'll bring that back. When words have meaning, they multiply, they bring more to us, and they lift up people, and they make the club grow.
When words have meaning, I suppose you can also raise down your memory, think about the times when people said things to you that empowered you, made you want to do something. And you can also equally think about the times when other people say things to you that are negative and broke you down, or it happened to others. And I think that was a very beautiful speech, Mr. Pieter Roos. Thank you very much for sharing with that. It's a constant reminder that we have to be careful with our words because they're very powerful. They're uplifting. We see how the Toastmaster community grows because of simple things. Words. Thank you very much. We